In last class we had done the question number 5, 6 and 7 of 3D shapes, right? So continuing with the same lecture, it's question number 8 and I have pasted the figure and the question on your screen. In the figure, a cuboid has a horizontal base EFGH where HG is 15, this one, GF is 8, BF is 7, that means the height. X is a point on AB such that XB is 4. You need to find CEG. Now if I highlight this angle on your figure, so that will be C, E and G, right? That is your triangle. That is your triangle, and this point is 90, right? Now if I plot this triangle in a 2D manner, so now look carefully. At the top I have a point C, right? And below that C I have a point, it's G. With the 90 degree to G we have a point and it's E, right? So that I convert the picture in 2D. Now the value of CG will be 8, that is the height of the cuboid. So CG is 8 centimeter. The value of EG I don't know yet. And what I need to find? I need to find the angle E. So let's say this angle is X. So for finding EG, I'm going to write down the heading so it will be easy for you. For EG, what I'm going to do, I'm going to consider the triangle HGF. If I plot the triangle separately, so H is a point. On the same level we have a point G, and from G at 90 degree we have a point F. And how did I know that the angle is 90? It's very simple, that it's a rectangular. Base is rectangular, right? Now you have this triangle, the value of HG is 15 and the value of GF is 8, and I need to find out the value of EG. For EG it will be same, right? If you consider this triangle, let's say EHG, so this side is 8 and this side is 15, so it will be same. Either I find HF or I find EG, both diagonals are same. So 15 square and 8 square, but I meant that by using Pythagoras. So HF square is equals to 8 square plus 15 square. 8 square is 64, 15 square is 225. Now if you add both of these values, 64 plus 225, it's 289, and root of 289 is 17. So that means the value of HF is equals to 17, or you can say that the value of EG is equals to 17 centimeter, right? So that is the value of EG. Now I am going to use the value of EG here. So it says the value of EG is 17, right? I can easily find the value of X by using trigonometry. So if this is my angle, that means I have the value of opposite and adjacent. So opposite and adjacent comes in 10. So we need to apply 10 here, so it will be 10. Angle is X, opposite is 8 and adjacent is 17. Now we can find the value of X. So 8 divided by 17, it's 0.47, right? Now you need to take the 10 inverse. So X is equals to 10 inverse of your answer, it's 25.2 degree, right? That is the first answer. Now for second part, first try it by yourself and then see what is the exact solution. Now the mistake that I had done is that the height is 7. That means the value of C to G, that is 7 centimeter. So it will be 7 divided by 17, right? So that was a mistake. So the height is opposite is 7 divided by 17. Now 7 divided by 17, it's 0.41. So x is equals to 0.41 and the inverse of 10. So its answer is 22.4. That is the angle, right? So that was a mistake in first part, but now it is correct. The mistake was that I mistakenly copied the wrong value of height. The height is 7 and I don't know why I wrote 8 here. Now after the first part, you need to find GXF. Now where is GXF, right? So first thing what I'm going to do, I'm going to rub this red triangle so that I can explain it better. GXF, so G to F and then X to F and then X to G. So that is my right angle triangle. Before that, what I am going to do, I am going to find the value of GX. Now let's say this point here, this point is Y, that point that is exactly below the point X. So I am going to consider the triangle GFY to find the value of GY, right? So I am going to write it down. Triangle GFY to find GY. So I am going to make the triangle. So GF is a straight line. GF, from F at 90 degree you have a point Y. So that is your right angle triangle. GF is 8 centimeter, FY, that is the height, is 7. We need to find the value of GY. We can easily find it by using Pythagoras. So GY square is equals to 8 square plus 7 square. 8 square is 64 and 7 square is 49. So 64 plus 49 and the root of answer is 10.63. So the value of GY is 10.63 centimeter. After the value of GY, I need to find the value of GX. Now that is step number 2 of part 2. Find the value of GY and GX. How I am going to find? By plotting the triangle XYG. Now consider the figure. X is the top point and below that X I made another point and I name it Y. So it's X and Y, and with the 90 degree to Y we have a point G. So that is my right angle triangle, and in that triangle we have the value of XY, that is the height, that means 7. We have the value of GY, that is 10.63 right here, and we need to find the value of GX. So again, by using Pythagoras, GX square is equals to 7 square plus 10.63 square. So if you solve it, it will be 7 square plus 10.63 square and then root of answer So it's 12.72. The value of gx is 12.72 centimeter. Right? So now you have the value of gx, you have the value of gf. Can you now solve it? Try it by yourself and tell me the value of the angle gxf. The angle that is required is this angle gxf, and let's say this angle is q. Before finding the value of q, first we need to find the value of fx, right? So I'm going to draw the triangle just right here, the triangle xbf. xbf. So the value of xb is 4, the value of bf is 7, and we need to find the value of xf, and that is our 90 degree. So it will be xf square is equals to 4 square plus 7 square. 4 square is 16, 7 square is 49, and that is equals to xf square. Now we need to add 16 plus 49 and then root of answer. So it's 8.06. The value of xf is 8.06 centimeter. Now I have all the values, and the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to draw the triangle gxf separately. Now look carefully. We have a triangle gx and f. This point is g, the upper one is x, and this point is f. The value of gx is 12.72. The value of xf we had find out is 8.06, and the value of gf is 8 centimeter, right? 8 centimeter. Now there is not a right angle triangle, so we need to apply law of cosine here. So since we need to find this angle and we name it angle Q, so our working formula, it will be 8 square is equals to 12.72 square plus 8.06 square minus 2 times 12.72 times 8.06 times cos Q, right? So 8 square is 64. I am going to add the value of these two. So 12.72 square plus 8.06 square, it's 226.76. And then I am going to solve these three terms, 1, 2 and 3. So 2 times 12.72 times 8.06, it's 205.2, 205.05 and cos Q on its place. Now don't think to subtract these two values, we cannot subtract them, right? So what you need to do, you need to shift 226 on the left side. So it will be 64 minus 226.76. It's minus 162. Minus 162.76 is equals to minus 205.05 cos Q. Minus minus cancel each other, right? So you need to divide it by 205.05. So it will be 0.793 is equals to cos Q, right? And now the cos inverse, so it's 37.46. And after go through the question, unfortunately I made another mistake, and maybe one of you wants to point out but you can't. The mistake that I've made is that the value of fy here is 4, right? And what I had done, the value of fy is 7, so that is a mistake. So that means I need to edit it. The value of fy is 4. So when it will be 4, so it will be 8 square plus 4 square, that is 16, and 64 plus 16 root, it's 8.94. so the value of gy is now 8.94 centimeter, and with the help of gy the value of gy is now 8.94. So it will be 7 square plus 8.94 square. So when you solve it, it will be 11.35. that is the value of gx, 11.35. right? Now the value of gx has been modified. Value of gx is 11.35. right? Now let me check the value of fx again. For fx, it's fb and bx 4 and 7. Yes, I think that it's right. 8.06. So now I think that all of my values are correct. gy, gx. Okay. Now the law of cosine. So let me just do it again. So it will be 8 square is equals to 11.35 square plus 8.06 square minus 2 times 11.35 times 8.06 times cos q. So I am going to solve it. 8 square is 64 minus 11.35 square minus 8.06 square. So it's 129.78. When you solve these three terms, so 2 times 11.35 times 8.06, it's 182.9, and it will be on the divide when we shift it on the left side. So it's negative 182.96, that is cos q. Negative cancel each other. So 129.78 divided by 182.96, that is 0.71, is equals to cos q. And now the inverse of cos. So the final answer is angle q is 44.8 degrees. That is your final answer of angle q. Right? So it is a bit lengthy question, and also I've made one mistake in this question, right? And the mistake was the wrong value. Now if I need to summarize this question, look closely. Basically the question is in this part, gxf. So first I made a triangle gxf, and when I made this triangle, I observed that there is no right angle triangle. So to find the value of gxf, I only have the value of gf. Then I find the value of fx, like right here, right? I find the value of fx, and then I find the value of gx by making one another triangle that I had discussed in the solution. And once we have the value of gx and xf, I apply law of cosine, right, to find the value of this unknown angle. Now after this question, moving on to the next one. I hope now you have clear idea how we solve this question, how we split the triangles to find the prerequisite unknowns, and then use these unknowns to find the final answer. Now that is question number 9. P is the center of the upper face of the rectangular block. The first important thing is rectangular block, that means there are 90-degree angles. with ABCD as its base. Now if any one of you have a confusion regarding the 90 degrees, listen. This angle is a 90 because AB and these 2 points are a rectangle, and this one is also rectangle 90 degree because it's a rectangle A, B, C and D, right? So there are two 90 degrees at one face of a figure. Now we need to find the value of PAC. So what I need to find first step, find the value of AC. Now it will be good if you try this question by yourself, right? To find the value of AC is very easy, you can do it. So if I do it, if I draw the line from A to C, so I can see that it is a right angle triangle. So basically just the application of Pythagoras, it's AC square is equals to 12 square plus 16 square. 12 square is 144 plus 16 square is 256. Add these two values and then find the under root. So it's 20. So the value of AC is 20 and the unit is centimeter. Right? Now if you have a question, sir, why we find the value of AC, it doesn't ask in the question. Now look closely what is asked. It says PAC. That means you need to find this angle, right? You need to find this angle. So if I draw the line on its midpoint, so basically from A to this point the length is 10, right? And the height is known, that is 5, and you need to find the angle A. So you can see that now you are dealing with the right angle triangle. So without the value of AC, you cannot find the value of A till this midpoint. So first part, PAC, opposite and adjacent, that means you need to apply 10 here, 10 angle A, opposite is 5 and adjacent is 10. So 10 inverse of 1 upon 2, that is 5 upon 10, it's 26.56, right? 26.56 is your angle A. I hope that it is clear, not a difficult one. And I am going to rub my figure. Okay. For next part, it says angle PAB. Now first let me draw the triangle. PAB. Now again a similar scenario, that in this triangle, if I draw it separately, P, A and B, in this triangle there is no 90 degree, right? But I know that the value of PA and PB, they must be equal because we are dealing with the rectangle, right? So we have the value of PA, not right now, but we can find it, right? How we can find it? The triangle that I draw before removing this diagram like this, and we said that the length is 10 and the height is 5. So by Pythagoras we can find the value of PA, right? So PA is equals to, adjacent is 10 square plus 5 square PA square, right? That is your Pythagoras theorem. 10 square is 100, 5 square is 25. So the root of 125 is 11.18. That is the value of PA, and you can say that the value of PB as well, right? So it's 11.18, 11.18. We are looking for the angle PAB, that means this angle we need to find out, right? Let's call this angle again Q, and the value of AB is 12. Now you can see that we cannot apply trigonometry here because there is no right angle triangle. All three sides are known and angle is unknown. That means you need to go with law of cosine. So it will be 11.18 square is equals to 11.18 square plus 12 square minus 2 times 11.18 times 12 times cos Q, right? So this 11.18, this 11.18 cancel each other. 12 square 144. When you shift on the left side, it will be negative 144. And I am going to solve these three terms. So 2 times 11.18 times 12, it's 268.3 with a negative sign. And cos Q. Now negative and negative cancel each other. Now you need to divide it. So 144 divided by 268.3 is equals to cos Q, right? So 144 divided by 268.3, and the cos inverse gives you the value of 57.5. So the angle Q is 57.5 degree, and that is your answer, right? Now keep in mind the first part is easy because in the first part we have a right angle triangle. But when we talk about the triangle PAB, there is no right angle triangle. First we can find the value of PA by using the triangle. The value of PA and the value of PB, they are same because the P lies on the center. So with the triangle of PAB, all three sides are known and this angle is unknown. So it's easy by the application of law of cosine, right? So moving on to the next question, that is probably the last question of today's class. It's question number 10. It's a word problem, right? So first read the question carefully. P, Q and R are 3 points on level ground with Q due east of P and R due south of P. Before starting the question, on the roughly hand I am going to make the table north, south, west, east, right? North, south, west, east. If you ever forget this, keep in mind sirwaqash. So maybe you won't forget this, right? So north, south, west, east. P, Q and R 3 points are vertical, Q due east of P. So let's suppose I have a point P and it says Q due east of P. So the P east of P is on the right side, so it's my point Q. And R due south of P, so R due south of P, that means this point, sorry, not S, it's R, right? So there are 3 points P, Q and R. After that, a vertical mast PT stands at P and the angle of elevation. Before that, a vertical mast stands at P and the angle of elevation of the top of P from Q is 3.5 degree. Basically now it's a 3D, so I cannot plot the 3D figure in a 2D plane, so we will portray it like this. But basically it's a 3D, it's out of your page, right? Okay, so that is point T and the angle of elevation of T from Q. So the angle of elevation is 3.5 degree. Given that PQ is 1000 meters, PR is 750 meters, find the bearing of Q from R. Okay, so first let me connect these 2 points. The first part, bearing of Q from R, that means we take the north of R, so that is already a north of R because it is a straight line, and we need to find this angle. Now first part is quite easy because we are dealing with the right angle triangle. Now X is the angle, that means 1000 is opposite and 750 is adjacent. So opposite and adjacent comes in 10. So it's 10x is equals to 1000 divided by 750. So 1000 divided by 750 and then 10 inverse, 53.13. So angle X is 53.13 degree. First answer 10. The height of the mast, now that means this height H. Again we are dealing with a right angle triangle, right? Opposite is unknown, angle is known, and adjacent. Again opposite and adjacent, that means 10. So 10, angle is 3.5, opposite is height and adjacent is 1000. So 10 3.5 multiplied by 1000, it's 61.16. So the height of the mast is 61.16 and unit is meters, not centimeters. So I hope that these 2 parts are clear, but there is one mistake that I've done. If you had identified it, that's very good. If not, then you need to focus on it, that the bearing, it must be in 3 digits. So it's 053, and I leave that part intentionally so that I can grab your attention, especially on this point, that it is very mandatory that you need to specify your bearings in 3 digits. And the last part, it says the angle of elevation of T from R. So I have tried to portray this example in a 3D. So that is what I can do at maximum to portray this question in 3D. So that is your 3D figure. And in last part it says find the angle of elevation of T from R. That means this angle is your angle of elevation. Let's say it's E. Now the distance of P to R is known, that is 750, and P to T, that is the height, we had find out 61.16. Now to find the value of E, again we are going to use 10 because it's opposite and it's adjacent. And where is 90 degree? That is your 90 degree. So it will be 10 angle E, opposite is 61.16 divided by adjacent is 750. Now if you do it, 61.16 divided by 750 and then 10 inverse, it's 4.662, right? So that is your angle E, 662, or I can say that E is 4.7 degrees, right? So that is your answer. Now, like I've told you, if you visualize the question clearly, then finding something is not a problem. You see that in all these cases we just applied 10 here, and we know how to apply 10 very well, but the question arises, we need to visualize this thing. If you can sketch the figure, you can solve the question. Remember this line: if you can sketch the question, then you can solve the question. If you cannot sketch, then it will be difficult for you to solve the question. So that is why the 3D shapes are a little bit complicated, not much, but a bit complicated, yes. So how this problem disappears? There is only one solution that you need to practice. The more exposure of the question, the better it for you, or you can say there are your concepts will be more clear if you solve more questions, right? So in the beginning, of course, you will face the problems, but keep in mind that failure is the first step of success. If you are doing it wrong, it means that you are on the right path. You will do rightly, right? So that is enough for the today's class. I hope that you have a good lecture today. Inshallah, in next class we are going to start with the worksheet of bearings. Till then, you need to take care of yourself and you need to do practice of 3D shapes a lot. Take care and Allah Hafiz.